Hello everybody and welcome back to Jade Empire, where we're currently on our way to return a clay figurine to Merchant Chung. He's right there. Shut up, Minister Shang. We don't want to talk to you just yet. Merchant Chung. Greetings once again. As I said before, I have no wares to sell you. Between the town being cut off and sailors like Tong stealing from me, I have nothing left. I have your figurine here. I don't believe it. Thank you, Mighty One. You have no idea what this means to me. I have no silver to offer you, but I'll give you a discount on all the goods I sell, as soon as the dam is closed and I can replenish my stock. Okay. This humble merchant thanks you for your time. Later. Okay, so we got ourselves some XP and some Way of the Open Palm. And now let's head over to the tea house because I don't want to talk to Minister Shang. I really don't. So I'm going to put it off as long as possible. Let's head into the tea house and see what all's in there. Should be interesting. Okay. Tea house. Improvised weapons like table legs and the like do surprising damage, huh?
Good, you're here. We can continue where we left off before.
That was a while ago.
You've got unfinished business with us first.
There are important matters at hand, yet you fellows keep interrupting. I'm surprised you're this eager to get another beating so soon.
This time we brought some friends to even up the odds.
Oh boy. Okay. Hello. Yeah, that's right. Get out of here. Like, these guys are really no contest. Just a little bit more white demon and we're fine. Not even breaking a sweat here. Oh, this guy's a bit of a jerk. Okay. That does it. Okay, if that's the way you want to play this. Get off. Get off. There we go. One of these days I'll hit him. Okay. That's just rude. Let's do it this way. There we go.
You certainly look like Lee's top student, though there's something odd about how you fight. I can't put my finger on it. It doesn't matter. The sailors won't bother us again. We can get back to business. Sun Lee gave me instructions to await you if anything should happen. I have prepared for this day for well over a decade.
Are you saying Lee knew he'd be kidnapped?
The full extent of what the glorious strategist knows is beyond my mind to comprehend. He is without peer. All I know is that I had instructions to wait for you. Sun Lee asked me to seek a piece of a special amulet he wanted you, his prize pupil, to have. It was broken apart and scattered when the spirit monk temple fell. He intended to, and I assume he did, give the main piece to you. Rumor placed a smaller part with a fleeing apprentice monk, but it had been some years and the trail was cold.
So, you searched for the rest of the amulet?
I eventually learned the monk had fled to Old Tien's Landing. He was there a year or so, but died of lingering injuries and was buried with his possessions unsorted. It was rushed at the time because the new dam was due to close and Old Tien's would become a watery tomb. The amulet was beyond reach, so I came here and waited. Now the Lotus assassins have drained the lake and exposed the ruins of Old Tien's Landing. It seems they are searching for this piece of the spirit monk amulet too.
Seems right. I mean, I should go to the ruins and try to find the amulet piece.
Yes, Sun Lee intended you to find it. I was to tell you about it if anything happened to him. It was the last order he gave me, and I have waited years to fulfill my duty.
I want to ask you some questions.
My assignment is to give you information to help you acquire the amulet. I will gladly answer whatever questions I can.
I have many questions, as usual. Can you tell me more about the amulet?
I only know that I had to find the piece I was tracking. I did so. It is in the ruins. You must find it before the Lotus Assassins do. You will need it to help your master.
Okay. How do I get to the ruins?
The gates leading to the ruins are locked, but Minister Shang can give you the key. You can find him in the town square, the highest point in Tian's Landing.
I'm sure I can. Guy's a jerk, though.
I suspect the minister is eager to have someone investigate the opening of the Great Dam. You can use this as an excuse to get the key and explore the ruins.
Of course. Can you tell me anything else about the Spirit Thief style?
You are wise to ask. It is a difficult but essential skill to master.
Oh, okay. I was just like, is that it? But no. When should I switch to Spirit Thief?
Spirit Thief is always useful. It is common to get run down or injured during battle, and you can tire yourself even further concentrating your chi to aid yourself. When you are feeling such a drain on your resources, switch to Spirit Thief, and each successful blow will restore you slightly. The drain will not hamper your opponent, however.
Do you have a favorite tactic you could share?
If you power through an opponent's guard with its strongest attack, it can briefly immobilize an enemy. During this, you can concentrate and increase the restoration. If you use that time to attack with another style, be careful. Your opponent may not be as vulnerable as they seem, and one must never be overconfident of victory.
Indeed. I want to ask something else.
My assignment is to...
Yeah. So, do you have any idea where I could find a new flyer?
Pirates have raided local villages using flyers, swooping down like locusts. Minister Shang said he would stop them, but his promises have done nothing. You can find Shang near his still smoldering office in the center of town. I'm sure he will welcome your assistance, even if your reasons are your own.
I'm sure he will. Tell me what you know about the water dragon.
It is said that the water dragon is the shepherd of the dead and a symbol of life and restoration. Beyond that is philosophy and not for a soldier to know. As you see, I know little about the celestial powers. I knew less before Sun Li asked this service of me. I thought such beings were beyond physical assault. I was mistaken. I don't know how the attack was made or what blade could cut the heart from a god, but I do know that any man who would attempt such a plan is arrogant beyond imagining.
Indeed. I have questions about you.
I am unimportant, but I promised I would aid you as best I can, so ask your questions.
Tell me about you and Master Li.
There is little to tell. I served him years ago in the Imperial Army. I was a tracker and a soldier. I was not at Dirge when it fell, but I heard the tale of Sun Li's death. But I refused to believe he was dead. In time, my faith was confirmed. He sought me out and told me what really happened. I swore my loyalty to him on the spot. I revere him as a teacher, and I revere him. Even when he ordered me to distant lands, my loyalty never wavered. But I am tired. I long for an end to my service.
Well, that pretty much answers this question, but you sound regretful.
Sun Li is a great man, driven by greater goals and ideals. Sometimes his gaze is lifted so high that he does not see what is right in front of him.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha.
We who serve him are sometimes forgotten, left to toil in obscurity until the time to act is thrust upon us. So it was with me, waiting for you.
Why has Master Li never mentioned you?
That would be a question for him, wouldn't it? I can only say that Sun Li devoted his life to raising you, to one day right the wrongs in the Jade Empire.
Mm-hmm.
If he wanted to keep some small part of his own life and thoughts for himself, who are you to question that? Everyone must have their private side.
I want to ask you something else.
My assignment...
Yeah. There was something that I wanted to say, but it doesn't seem to be here. Let's try I have a lot ahead of me, but I should go.
Remember, go to the ruins and claim the amulet before the Lotus Assassins do. You will need it to survive the trials that lie ahead.
Yes, this is true. However...
You really shouldn't waste your time here in this tea house. The Lotus Assassins are searching the ruins for the missing piece of your amulet. You must find the pieces before they do.
We will get to it. Okay, looks like we don't have the option. I wanted to ask about how he could have predicted that the flyer would have crashed, but apparently we don't get the option. So we've got Old Mother Quan here. We've got Steeper Yanru here. We've got Guard here and some patrons. Let's just let's begin with Old Mother Quan over here, shall we? But first I want to get healed up. There we go. And make a quick save. Who knows? It could go horribly wrong for some reason.
Hello, young one. My name is Quan, but everyone calls me Old Mother Quan. I'd like you to call me that too, okay? Welcome
Sure.
to my tea house. Oh, that's not right. No, not anymore. Sorry about the confusion, dearie. What I meant to say was, welcome to Master Dutong's tea house.
You used to own this tea house?
Yes, I owned the tea house for many, many years. At least I thought I did. But then Master Dutong came to town with that imperial writ. Oh my, wasn't that a shock? Turns out his family owns this land. They have for hundreds of years. The land is his along with everything on it, so now he owns my tea house too. He was nice enough to let me stay on here as a helper. I steep the tea. Yanwan takes the orders, and Master Dutong, well, he mostly just drinks his wine.
Imperial writ, huh? Seems legit. Did you check the writ to make sure it was real?
Now, why would I do such a thing? I can't even imagine anyone being so horrible they'd forge an imperial writ. No, I'm sure the land belongs to Master Dutong.
Yeah, it doesn't. You didn't know he owned the land when you built the place?
No one knew. This was just an empty patch of rock for hundreds of years. Who would have thought the Empire had deeded it to anyone? But Master Dutong came along with his writ.
I'm gonna speak to Dutong about this.
That is very nice of you, my child, but what could you do? I would love to have my tea house back, but it belongs to Master Dutong now. You can't argue with an imperial writ.
I beg to differ.
All this talk is just the rambling of an old woman. Put it out of your head and enjoy yourself. It may not be mine anymore, but this is still a fine tea house.
Okay, so, her tea house got stolen, and we're gonna get it back eventually. Oh, hey! But first we're gonna minimize the game. Oh, boy. Oh, I wish there was some way I could stop that from happening. But instead, we're gonna talk to Steeper Yanru.
Hello, greetings, welcome. My name is Steeper Yanru, and I'll be... No, that's not right at all. Idiot! I'm Barkeep Yanru now, not Steeper Yanru. I'm sorry about that. I still can't get the hang of this new position. Sometimes I wish Old Mother Quan still owned the tea house so things could go back to the way they were.
Oh, she does. Don't worry about it. I want to talk about Dutong and his Imperial writ.
That Imperial writ has caused us no amount of grief. Mother Quan lost her tea house, waitress Yanwan is busier than ever, and I spend all day giving out foolish advice.
Give me some advice.
Sure. Just remember, I'm pretty new at this. I'm still practicing. Let's try this one. Every bureaucrat knows a tree grows toward the light, but a rock grows not at all.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. Dutong just had me memorize a bunch of wise sayings. None of them make much sense to me. Maybe they'll sound better if people drink the wine.
I doubt it. Oh, tell me more about Dutong.
I shouldn't speak ill of my boss, but I don't trust him. Maybe it's because he's not from the town. He just showed up one day with that Imperial writ and took over. That Imperial writ has caused us no amount of grief. Mother Quan lost her tea house. Waitress Yanwan is busier than ever. And
You already
I spend all
said
day
this.
giving out food.
Did anyone ever see the actual writ?
Mother Quan saw it, though her eyes aren't too good. Most of us didn't bother to give it a look since hardly anyone in the town can read anyway.
I think the writ was a forgery.
What? You mean it wasn't real? That means Mother Quan should still own the tea house. Problem is, Dutong's already shown everyone the writ and now he's got it locked away. If you're right, he'd never bring it out again. There's no way to prove he cheated Mother Quan.
Unless you can get him to bring it out. Maybe I can make Dutong confess.
That might work. It would probably help if you get him drunk first. That's something I can help you with. Dutong's always having me send over wine. Usually I mix it with water so he doesn't get too drunk too fast, but I could start sending it to him unmixed.
That works. Just don't get him so drunk he passes out.
Don't worry about that. He never passes out no matter how much he drinks. Actually, he usually goes through 3 stages of drunkenness. Dutong gets very friendly when he starts to drink. You might get a confession out of him then, but I doubt it. He's not really all that drunk at that stage. Usually after about 7 bowls, he slips into depression and sorrow. He complains about how his life is worthless and what a bad and sinful man he is. Not a pretty sight. By the 9th glass, he starts to get paranoid. You can't really talk to him then. Usually around that time, I try to slip a restorative potion into his glass to sober him up.
Tell me about this restorative potion.
The restorative tastes pretty foul, but it does the job. Works instantly and makes a man sober as an imperial judge. Dutong's guard keeps a vial handy at all times, just in case.
Okay.
The guard gave me a few vials so I could slip them into Dutong's wine when he starts to get paranoid. Keeps him from getting out of hand.
Let's send Dutong some drinks.
No problem. We have 2 sorts of wine here. Peasant's wine and Imperial seasoned spirits. The peasant's wine is pretty weak, but that's usually what Dutong drinks. The Imperial seasoned spirits are a lot stronger. 1 bowl of that is worth 3 bowls of peasant's wine. And if Dutong gets too drunk, I have the restorative to sober him up.
Give him some Imperial seasoned spirits to start with.
1 drink for Master Dutong coming up. Anything else I can do for you?
No, that'll be it for now. We'll need to... Let's see, that should get him into stage... Well, deep in stage 1 or into stage 2.
Good.
We'll be back in a bit.
Go speak to Dutong. If he's not drunk enough, or if he's too drunk, come back and see me and I'll mix him up another drink.
Okay.
We'll get him to admit he's a cheat and a sneak. Then old Mother Quan will be back in charge, and I won't ever have to give out another bit of bad advice.
Indeed. Okay, so who do we got here? That's Hui. We've got a guard here.
Dutong says he hired me because I'm big as an ox and just as smart.
Uh-huh. Yep, I can see that. We've got some random patrons around here. That's fine. Anything back here? Nope. Okay, let's go upstairs. What do we got here? We've got Rue and Yanwan. What you up to, Rue?
I may be drunk, but that doesn't mean I am a drunk, because I'm not. Well, just a little bit. But I'm brave, too. I'm going to go close the Great Dam and save the town.
No, you're not.
I'll be a hero. That'll show them. Well, that'll show them all. I just need another drink to get my courage up. Wine! Someone bring me more wine!
Yep.
You've been saying that for 3 days, Rue. Minister Shang's already looking for other people to close the dam, and you'll look a fool after all your boasts.
I doubt that man could open a door, never mind a dam.
You're not wrong, Dawnstar. Yanwan, what do you have to say for yourself?
Look at all these people, and I'm the only server in the place. If Dutong doesn't start running things better, I'm going to quit.
Don't blame you. Hello, sailors.
You bringing me a drink?
Nope.
No. Then go away.
Those are just patrons. Yaoru.
Do you mind? I'm in no mood for company given my present state of despondency.
Who are you?
My name is Yaru, though some of the locals disparagingly refer to me as Yaru the Sailor. You see, I am predisposed to seasickness. Ergo, I despise the water.
Of course you do.
Yet I suffer their verbal slings and arrows with nary a complaint. It is just one more misfortune to pile atop the great heap that buries me in misery.
So he was one of the eligible bachelors that Eiling mentioned, but what's wrong?
I am at the stage of my life in which I long for companionship. A wife with intellect and refinement comparable, but just slightly inferior to my own.
Well,
unfortunately, this town presents scant opportunity for a suitable match. Seamstresses, barmaids, peasants. I may as well marry the harlots selling themselves in the street.
maybe your standards are too high.
Or perhaps everyone else's standards are far too low. I shall not allow myself to be saddled with a marriage of convenience, not when I deserve so much more.
I want to ask you some questions.
I understand your desire to seek elucidation from one whose vocabulary is elevated above the grunts and squawks of the general rabble inhabiting this town.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
However,
particularly
I'm in no
interested
mood
in
to
your
converse
feckin'
with you,
verbosity.
not while
Let's
my
get on
heart
with this.
bears the weight of my great burden.
Yeah, he's grumpy. Let's just go with you're a pompous ass and get it over with.
Your jibes can nary prick the armor of my pride. They are blunted barbs forged by the sputtering flames of your lesser intellect.
Indeed.
Farewell. Perhaps we shall speak again, if you ever tire of the braying and neighing of these barnyard animals.
Yeah, with that attitude, good luck.
Leave Zhang alone.
Zhang, you can't stay up here forever. This isn't your home. You need to come back with me to the farm.
No. Zhang not want to go home. Zhang doesn't want to see ox.
It wasn't your fault. It was an accident. I need you back at the farm. Now let's go, Zhang.
No. Leave Zhang alone, or Zhang get angry and smash things.
No. Please don't, Zhang. I'll just go over here and leave you alone. What? Oh, hello there. Don't let Zhang bother you. He's really quite harmless. He's just a little upset right now.
I have so many questions. What are you doing with an ogre? That will start.
Zhang is no ordinary ogre. He is, despite his simple nature, very skilled. I am Dongping, Zhang's employer. Zhang works on my farm, but the other day he accidentally killed one of my oxen, and since then he has refused to come back. Some of the patrons here are unnerved by his size. I'm worried that if he doesn't leave with me soon, the owners may take matters into their own hands.
Potentially.
If he gets hurt, or worse, I'll be ruined. I can't run the farm without him, but I don't know what else to do. He won't listen to me.
I'll speak with him.
You will? I must warn you. Zhang is, well, he is very strong-willed and very strong. I am grateful for your help, but please, be careful.
Will not
Zhang
do.
the ox carrier came by his name honestly. I would hate to see him hurt you, or anybody else for that matter. Speak softly to him, and you should be okay.
I can just make him into a Zhang-sickle if I have to. But let's go ahead and save here, and we are going to be talking to Zhang, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in before we do that. And next episode, we'll be continuing to work our way up the levels of this tea house. See you all then.